Welcome to BizWire. I'm Joseph Nordstrom in Beijing. China has taken action to more severely restrict exports to North Korea. Beijing has grown increasingly frustrated by its longtime ally in Pyongyang over its intransigence on expanding its nuclear weapons capabilities. On Tuesday, China's Ministry of Commerce issued a long list of forbidden items with the dual use of civilian and military applications. The restrictions follow a report by two American experts who claim that North Korea can now make equipment for producing uranium-based bombs on its own without imports that had been one of the few ways outsiders could monitor the country's secretive atomic work. China's leaders have been pushing North Korea to rejoin the six-party disarmament talks, even though the United States has put strict conditions on the start of such negotiations. As with all matters, Beijing values stability over all else and has been irritated by North Korea's refusal to follow China's example to develop economically. The 236-page list names dozens of products known as dual-use technologies, meaning that although ostensibly meant for civilian purposes, they could also be used in military programs. The Commerce Ministry's website lists the items specifically for the first time that are forbidden for export that includes any materials related to the nuclear, ballistic, chemical, and biological fields. Despite Beijing's reported unhappiness with North Korea, China's foreign ministry was quick to point out that the published list of goods banned for export is in no way intended to punish Pyongyang. Foreign Ministry spokesman Hong Lei said the publication of the list simply underscored China's, quote, strict attitude in enforcing sanctions and to, quote, encourage denuclearization on the Korean peninsula. The Associated Press cited China security expert at Singapore's Nanyang Technological University, Li Mingjiang, who says the move is a continuation of China's new policy of putting slightly greater pressure on North Korea to coax it back to disarmament talks. Li says China could have simply implemented the ban, but announcing it so publicly was a sign to the U.S. and the rest of the international community that Beijing is sincere in meeting its commitments. Li says it's also a rebuke to Pyongyang, who he says may respond with concessions. Relations between Beijing and Pyongyang have deteriorated since North Korea's nuclear test in February. China signed on to the UN sanctions in March, but remains the North's largest trading partner. AP writes that China, wary of undermining its isolated neighbor and creating instability on its northeastern border, has often argued against stricter sanctions on North Korea and has, at times, been accused of not enforcing them enthusiastically enough. Concerns over the North's nuclear program may rise following claims that Pyongyang is mastering domestic production of essential components for the gas centrifuges needed to make uranium-based nuclear bombs. AP reports that recent satellite imagery appears to show that North Korea was restarting its plutonium reactor. Since becoming North Korea's leader nearly 3 years ago, Kim Jong-un has repeatedly angered Beijing by rejecting its advice to return to the international negotiating table and reform economically. You're watching BizWire on the Blue Ocean Network, China's first and only privately owned broadcast media. All of our shows can be seen on our website, BONTV/biz-wire. In just a second, we'll continue with more insight into the big picture of China's economy.